towards Alchemy, and I mean their draft does kind of figure. But although this is a very good draft, it doesn't really stop the fact that there's Void. Okay, so is that a bot mango? I'm pretty sure it is, right?
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, Goldless does it up. Guess all the mangoes were destroyed already. No mango destruction to be seen here. Double check. Adds up. I mean, I'm not accusing these players of cheating or anything. I myself know how difficult it is, especially if you're, let's say, used to buying a mango in your starting items, and then you look at your inventory and you don't really recognize that you didn't buy a mango for a change. I'm totally the guy who does that kind of stuff by accident. So I know how awkward it can be.
30 seconds to
especially
battle.
because it looks like you actually, you know, cheated by not destroying the mango or whatever. Well, you're just not used to it. Eh? But yeah, we're good, Chi.
The battle begins.
Time is money.
And on the mid lane, Wind Ranger against Tiny. It should be pretty Wind Ranger favored. Wind Ranger great for harassing low armor heroes. Earth Spirit not quite the best hero to go on a mid Tiny though. So although this Tiny is going to waste a lot of money on resources and regen and stuff,
Think so.
it's gonna be fine when it comes to just avoiding ganks and kind of putting Iplay in a difficult position where they want to rotate. The question is that going to be enough for Iplay, or do they really want to get a kill on the Tiny? Because it's going to be very difficult. Offlane Sand King does seem to be set up for a pretty doable, pretty fair lane. Chaos Knight just getting bullied by Bane with them evils. I mean, he has a lot of damage, so should be able to hold his own. Actually going on Black Archangel there. Black Archangel going to go down. In my opinion, you should just always give Black Archangel some hero with a really big damage output and just have him run at people. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be like a hero meant to run at people like the Ogre Magi or whatever. You can just give him a Lich or an Ancient Apparition to let him have his fun that way. Limitless. Going to be fine thanks to the wand. So Alchemy, off to a pretty good start. And this draft altogether is just really paying off already. I mean, that might change in a couple of minutes when there are a couple of big swings coming in. Those are kind of unavoidable. But we do see, especially when we look at Tiny having a very sturdy mid lane, having a very good amount of farm on that mid lane. Team Alchemy, they know what they're doing with this draft. And looks like Mikosh went in a bit too deep, is going to get killed off here. So Team Iplay, they're playing with a stand-in here, which might be another reason why the odds are a tiny bit stacked against them. And although it does feel bad if it's really going to be the standard that makes the difference, I generally think the draft's going to have more impact here. And that means Team Iplay, they just gotta go to the very late stage of this game if they do want to have a good shot at winning this. I mean, maybe they're able to either stall out the game or just go for a lot of fights. Like, fight your opponent whenever. Make sure you trade somewhat equally, even if your opponent gets like a few hundred gold out of every fight, that's fine, as long as they don't get free farm. And then suddenly, the late game arrives sooner than you think. Also, that's the most entertaining playstyle, but that's not why I'm suggesting it. It would actually be pretty good here. On the top lane, once again a bit of a skirmish going on. YHZ seems to be doing fine though. Getting himself to the side, and he stuck around just to try and enable a kill on the Sand King in exchange. And if he would have juked out of there, Disruptor could have easily lived. I mean, there's a ton of good juke paths through this tree, through these trees, especially if you cut that tree there. And now the Sand King trying to abuse those juke paths to get out of there. So, YHZ is sacrificing himself in order to get a kill. I'm not sure if that trade is necessarily that great. I mean, although you do delay the Sand King's blink dagger or whatever a bit, this is buying time, this is buying space. Just avoiding deaths altogether seems like the better way to play when you have a slow draft. When you kinda, you know, want to get yourself online. Since the thing is Alchemy, they can't afford to go for too many, like I said earlier, of these slightly unfavored trades. They're always going to favor Iplay a bit because they draw more time than a quiet lane is going. Wait, we actually got a fight here. Okay, Sand King, Loafer, able to get himself out it seems like. YHZ getting annihilated there by the lane. And Earth Spirit is getting ran at but is being hit for like 0 damage. Over and over, and he's going to roll out the pine. And Feeble is so nasty. Black Archangel, I'm not sure if he's really happy about how annoying he is, or if he's really unsatisfied with the lack of kills he has early on. But he is having a really big impact by just playing it kinda passively with the Enfeeble spam. And if we look at the farm, Wrackful is currently free farming. That's a bit of an issue for Team Alchemy here. That's actually something they need to address sooner rather than later. If Void gets to free farm until the 10-12 minute mark, he's suddenly going to become very hard to kill. As he faces Void, your main issue is just tanking long enough to get the time walk off, and that becomes easier and easier the further you're ahead, even if you are going to play more as a glass cannon carry. And Void comes in with the first big chronosphere of the game. The disruptive field kinda ruining it for him here, but it looks like he is going to get a kill on Limitless. Okay, so Earth Spirit got that kill. Tiny now going to manfight up. Faces Void, just throwing down the supports though. This guy, he does not want to shut down the Tiny. He wants to get value out of this, and seems to be getting that quite well so far. Clockwork being stunned up. And they turn to Locas here. Wreckful able to mitigate a lot of damage. But Tiny is still steady. Still kicking. He isn't peopled up though, so his damage output greatly reduced. Chaos Knight coming back in. Black Archangel finally out of mana. Almost out of health too. Down he goes. Wreckful, he wants the Tiny though. And if he can get it, it would be a huge kill. Disruptor coming back in and faces Void. He decides to go back. Can he make it away in time though? Time walk? Oh no. There he goes. I mean, Rex, that was some really fancy playing, but in the end, Alchemy, they do get the kill they need. They do shut down the Faceless Void. On the mid lane, meanwhile, Extra going to be, and this is something we see a lot of times from Extra, where he isn't having the best lane in the game. He isn't really bringing that wow factor, but he's playing it very consistently. And just by playing an average hero who doesn't die, you can pull ahead so hard. And just as I say that, I should not have opened my mouth there. Okay, he might be fine. He's going to be fine, okay. Since there's a lot of players to go for this kind of playstyle, Nisha, an example from Team Penguin, is very known for playing very consistent, not really ultra interesting mid lane, but then he comes online just by not dying, just by keeping himself alive properly.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Wages of fear. Time is money.
Double damage.
Lucas getting ran at, taking a lot of damage on the face of Void. The face of Void. He needs to ramp up the kills here. So it's going down in that first little top skirmish, which was actually pre-drawn out. It is going to cost him quite dearly. Limit is coming in. Looking for a kill on Nikosh there. Is going to get it before he goes down. Now Chronosphere is being committed to on the Shadow Demon. And remember when I said I hope there was a lot of fighting? So far these teams are definitely not disappointing me. And we're gonna see Shadow Demon hit the floor next. But it looks like Alchemy, they're debating if they still want to fight this. The Disruptor almost down though, so... Or actually maybe Clockwork was just brought in as a bit of safety rotation in hindsight.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Kinda missed how low the Disruptor was. I'm pretty sure they could have turned if he was at like half health or something. I like that ping spam too. New pings, they're really fun to work
Dire's
with.
bottom tower is under attack.
At this point we're reaching a point where coaches can really do a lot with the map features, just drawing and those little pings. Shadow Demon going to drop, and now Iplay suddenly 4 ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and credit extra for that one.
Dire's bottom
I mean,
tower
we
is
can
under
switch over to net worth here to check if I'm actually right on that. Black Arc ain't going to go down, that's just a Bane, that's fine. And yeah, Wind Ranger got a massive lead. Faces Void isn't doing too shabby too. He is finding a lot of return kills. And Loafer goes down to Tiny as well.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Nikosh getting ran down, so Team Iplay taking heavy casualties. They're just gonna cut their losses here.
Tower is under attack.
Definitely the right move. They are quite a bit ahead. Got a good tower advantage. Their Wind Ranger is fat as hell, and honestly, this playstyle, it often goes underappreciated and just kinda
Radiant's
forgotten
bottom
about.
tower is under
That whole
attack.
ultra consistency.
Radiant
Unless a player
structures are fortified.
like Nisha manages to really get a lot of fame for himself, really make a name for himself by
Dire's
going from
middle
tier 2
tower
to
is
tier
under
1.
attack.
Those players don't get a lot of fans, and you know, I like it. It's nice to see a Wind Ranger who just doesn't do a lot for like half the game suddenly kick in. Sayu going to get ran down as well, and now Alchemy, they're still in a bad spot. I mean, their power curve hasn't even started, and they've already lost 2 towers, are going to be in a really bad spot if they lose this tier 2 as well, because then a lot of farming space for the Tiny is going to get shut down, and Tiny isn't quite there yet.
Appalling.
Every Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We're going to be in a bit of trouble. Like, almost going to be fine. That was a close one, but Sayu delivering the damage. Locust dies elsewhere on the map. Both teams losing their offlaners here. And Extra is getting even more fat. 3-0 and 1 Wind Ranger, going for the first item MKB, and I mean, that is an interesting build. I'm all for the old school Mjolnir build, but
There is tranquility in death.
I have a lot of faith in Extra here. I think he knows what he's doing. Limitless did get killed off there. That's yet another big kill. And Alchemy get this Tiny online. I mean, Chaos Knight, he is a bit of a slow hero, but all he really needs to shine is an armlet. With his ultimate and a bit of experience, he can already do a lot of work that way.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tiny going to kill off Black Archangel there, and that's gonna help him finally reach a point where he can fight Extra. If he gets caught here, that could be devastating. And he will get glimpsed back, he will get fielded in. Oh dear, that's a high value kill. But it is going to keep the game closer. Now Limitless. Going to hit low for a ton of damage. And Rackful, he didn't have Chrono, so he couldn't have really turned that fight. Still, I'm pretty sure Extra wishes that Faceless Void would have been there, and that Wind Ranger being caught. It is putting massive dent in Iplay's plans, although Iplay is still in a very dominant spot. They need to make sure not to lose a big team fight now, or Faceless Void, losing him would already be pretty big. He is going to get locked in, he is going to get silenced up, nothing he can do. Getting pummeled down by the Tiny there. Chaos Knight decides to just go ahead, push down the bottom tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Limitless. Really like to find Black Archangel here. Black Archangel doing his best to stay out of there. And he will get himself caught. But a little bit too late. Chaos Knight, he did have the stun up too. Limitless, I'm not sure if the cast animation was too long for him to cast, since he did get a right click off. May have just been slow reflexes that let the kill get away. I mean, it's not a big deal, it's just support. Meanwhile, we got Wind Ranger with the MKB. I'm so not sure whether that's a really good item on Wind Ranger or not. I mean, Mjolnir seems to be dealing a lot of damage, but on the other hand, this is on average like a 180 pure DPS, and the fact that it's pure makes it so much better. Especially against a Chaos Knight, who generally is a pretty beefy, pretty high armor target to take down. With his armlet too. I'm curious to see Wind Ranger do some big plays or not. The net worth is almost equaled out though. Chaos Knight, he is... Well, Chaos Knight doesn't really need a lot of stuff, but... Getting beefy as a hero who scales well into the late game is always a nice thing to... Oh, and look at that, Chaos Knight literally being reduced to 1 damage there. And Feeble just such a high impact spell here. That might be another argument for the MKB on the Wind Ranger here actually. And Feeble isn't completely going to ruin her DPS. Faceless Void is going to get caught though. Lover coming in. Not really getting the best of epicenters, but it did set something up at least. And look at that big magnetize. Just starting off on a clockwork, the one they wanted to kill, but the rest of the damage is too much to really do anything. Wind Ranger meanwhile, going ahead, split pushing a bit.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Doing the whole anti-mage thing. It looks so derpy when she runs. Just look at this.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Valve for once didn't get a good animation for something. Honestly, I'm pretty sure they could have just used the Team Fortress 2 Scout Strafe scout strafe animations and kinda adapt those. Since that hero was made to be facing all sides and, you know, doing a bit of shooty runny. But this just looks derpy as hell. Meanwhile, we got a bit of a fight here. Clockwork is going to get caught. Chaos Knight coming in. This is actually going to escalate once again. We're gonna see another big fight break loose. And these teams, they're just trying to outfight one another. Loafer is going to go down, but look at that Chronosphere. Catching 3 people and all the Chaos Knight Illus. Complete work of art. Tiny going to get locked down, however. Chaos Knight is still too dangerous. Void doesn't really have a lot of damage output on his own, and Wind Ranger kinda isolated from the rest of her team. Wreckful actually got caught there too, and this is just... I mean, Iplay, they're still getting a lot of work done. Disruptor was forced to buy back here, but at this rate, Tiny is becoming scary, and Team Alchemy, they do need to push a little bit before they can actually go for some good stuff. They do need to take down a couple of towers so they can actually position themselves in the base and actually cause that havoc that Tiny is so known for. Extra, meanwhile, he's going to not go for an Aghanim Scepter here either. Just opting for the Maelstrom now. I like what he's doing here. I'm not sure if the MKB is generally one of his first items of choice, or if it's kind of just to mitigate stuff. If it's just kind of to deal with the Chaos Knight and the likes of it. But I can definitely see this work as a general go-to first item build. XD on the Tiny, meanwhile, he is out for blood. Or at least would like to be. He does have the damage output he needs. Does have Shadow Blade set up, but Iplay are playing this really carefully. They don't want to get caught. And if we do look at the gold graph here, Iplay, they lost quite a bit of an advantage. I mean, it could be worse. They're not completely out of this by any means, but another lost team fight could be devastating. Tiny should probably be able to take a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower with singular push, which alone is something I think a lot of teams aren't quite too fond of.
Knock you back to the stoning.
Loafer getting caught by XD. This Tiny, he is big, but look at that. He's going to get caught, and Wind Ranger going to dish out a ton of damage. Faces Void, adding a ton to that. Disruptor going to get caught next. Nice save from the Shadow Demon. Very nice Disruptor ultimate there, but Clockwork did just get right kicked down by the Faces Void. Now Chaos Knight getting big with an army of Illus. How much work can they do? The Magnetize coming out, the Power Shot coming out. They're doing whatever they can to just kind of mitigate Chaos Knight here. Reduce the damage as much as they can. And Mikosh did die, but I think you can sacrifice him as long as Extra is going to get out. And the face is Void for Tiny. It does seem to favor Iplay slightly, but now with Black Archangel being lost, never mind that. Okay, now I'm not even sure who this team fight is favoring anymore. Loafer comes in, just goes for a quick kill there.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
I like the Ghost Scepter a lot on the Shadow Demon. It's generally a very good item. However, Iplay, they do know how to exploit it. They are going to put every bit of nuke damage in the second that they see that Ghost Scepter being procced. And altogether, that fight was still favoring Iplay. Although neither team really got an advantage out of it, it did buy a lot of space, and Iplay do have the better late game. They just gotta make sure that Tiny can't push, but if we do look at the current state of towers, things are going really well. And that does seem to be the main issue for Team Alchemy here. They can't push, and I know that sounds ridiculous with Tiny and a Chaos Knight. It sounds very crazy, but the thing is, Iplay got such powerful heroes when it comes to defending, got such powerful heroes when it comes to initiating on their own turf, that Team Alchemy, although they do have the tower damage, they don't really have the ability to not get initiated on. Even if they were to ward off an entire area to make sure they spot out any rotations, Face's Void can catch people so fast, Wind Raider can catch people so fast. And I think it would require like 1 to 2k gold really. Oh, and look at that, we got another team fight happening here. Chaos Knight going to take a lot of damage from the Wind Ranger. Shadow Demon going for a very nice save there. Wind Ranger now getting closed in upon by the Clockwork. Will be able to get herself out of the cost and sets the Chaos Knight down. The next target is going to be XD on the Tiny. He is just surrounded by 4 people, although a very big beefcake. There is no way in hell he's going to live through that. And now Iplay once again 2k ahead. Team Alchemy, they do have a very solid draft here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
But they didn't quite manage to exploit their main power curve.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And honestly, in hindsight, what they should have probably done is when Alchemy were, you know, receiving a lot of gold on those supports, they should have just bought a ton of wards, warded off this entire area, and pushed down the top tier 1, maybe even top tier 2 with the Tiny. Anything is possible. Since now Iplay, they're in full control of this game. Team Alchemy needs a full-blown team fight, taking out at least both carries for a while in order to push. And of course the respawn times are getting longer, so Tiny is still getting very, very scary in terms of how much damage he can deal to the base. The chances of him living through a team fight are decreasing with the Wind Ranger picking up more and more items. So altogether, Iplay, they got the hardest part behind them. As long as Alchemy don't find a way to play around the weakness here, this game does seem pretty one-sided. And Iplay, let's see, are they going to lose anyone to the smoke, since right now everybody is farming, the GPM is racking up. Void seems to be the target of the smoke, and he is going to get caught, is going to get disrupted, ulted. At least he did force out a little bit of protection, but that is a huge kill. 55 seconds, no Void. Team Alchemy, they can now just go on the mid tower and they don't even need to bring in a creep wave or whatever. They can just take a tier 1. Maybe they can do the same thing to the top tier 1 too, since... Okay, that's actually not good. That's actually really not good. Iplay, they lose their Void and they're gonna remain in a very advantageous position. Loaf for just playing some next level red Dota here. And can he get out? Nope, okay. So not quite bulldonked here. He did bait out some more. I like baiting out detection whenever you can. I mean, it's just a tiny bit of gold, but why the hell not? Every slight bit can matter. And if Sand King would have gotten away with it, if he had a little bit more mana, he could have gotten away with it. That's the saddest part, so... Then Team Alchemy has really been screwed up. But now at least the initiative is back to Team Alchemy. They need to find something more to make happen here. Black Archangel being killed off again. He is truly living the support life, going 3 and 10 while being involved in the vast majority of kills. That's how you play good support. Chaos Knight going to get shackle shotted up, taking a lot of damage from the Wind Ranger. Limitless going to be fine for now. Chaos Knight did go down there and Disruptor too. I mean, Disruptor is not that big to lose, but the Chaos Knight is huge. Tiny, meanwhile, in a bit of an awkward spot. Tried to wrap around, didn't really find anyone with that wrap around. Extra did go down, and now Tiny finally coming in onto Loafer. He is going to face the full wrap of the Angry Pebble.
The ways of
Fun fact about Tiny, I know. Oh wait. Mikosh going to get caught before the fight fully ends, and In the end, Alchemy are winning, but they just won because they had more resources there. Because it took so long and so much effort to burst down the Chaos Knight. I mean, a win is a win, don't get me wrong. But Iplay should still be the stronger team in fights. On average, if both teams just get initiation or equal turf.
Tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
I wonder what that means actually.
Radiant's
think
top
of it.
tower is under attack.
Could just make a teamfight simulator instead of playing the whole scrims. You could just allow your players to simulate certain teamfights to practice for fighting when they're behind, etc. Holy crap, that's actually a very good idea. Just as a bit of a workshop minigame, there might actually be one already, but if you do specialize that kind of thing to your team's need, it would be huge. Either way, Team Iplay, they're still a tiny bit ahead. They still got the ultra late game advantage, and we are slowly but surely approaching the ultra late game, 1 minute per minute, of course. But if we do look at how rich everybody is a tiny bit ahead of how far in, you know, we are, how far in terms of gold everybody should be. This Wind Ranger especially, very well fed and very high impact. Keeping her safe in teamfights is going to be somewhat difficult without a good tank, but you do have the Chronospheres. And if I see extra in action here, I think he really wishes he had an Omni Knight or something instead of that Void. I mean, Void is definitely pulling his weight and can definitely carry this game. It's just that at this point, up till this point, Wind Ranger would have really just needed a bit of immortality here and there to... Talking about immortality, it looks like both teams are going to fight around the Roche, so maybe... Well, actually no, never mind that. Iplay, they're going to be able to push too hard, so I'm guessing they want to do that instead. I wish MKB would be counting the damage output somehow though. This Wind Ranger, it looks like she hits like a wet paper towel. But with the MKB and the Maelstrom procs, she actually hits really hard. Also, let's see, anyone going for anything to counter Wind Ranger? Not directly. Tiny opting for the Assault Curse now to enable him to completely wreck an entire base. Chaos Knight going for a Heart of Trask, much needed item against the Wind Ranger. Stacking up armor isn't going to work against her that well. And Chaos Knight Heart is just freaking great. There is some merit to a Manta style here against Earth Spirit and against Bane.
Radiant's middle tower
And against Void. There's a lot of purgeable stuff here. I don't know, maybe that would be an option for Limitless after his Heart of Trask. If the game even goes that long, since Team Iplay, they do seem eager to start a fight, and if that fight would get started off with good Chronosphere, the game can be over, but it looks like that's not going to be the case.
Time is money.
Double damage.
Bane got himself killed up by the Tiny, and now Earth Spirit going to be the next target. He is going to take a ton of damage here. Ghost Scepter not going to save you, Mikosh. Sorry, mate. And Team Alchemy, take out two supports, especially taking out that Fiend's Grip, are now going to try and contest the Roche. Meanwhile, Chaos Knight running at the Wind Ranger. There's a beautiful Chronosphere coming out. Wind Ranger doesn't have the ultimate available, so even with a double damage rune, not really going to do a lot. A big epicenter is coming in, and there's a lot of damage being outputted here by Iplay, but remember what I said during the draft about Iplay being ever so slightly inefficient? They're really feeling that right now. I mean, they didn't have the Fiend's Grip, which would have been a huge enabler here, but there was enough damage to kill both the Chaos Knight and the Tiny and another hero. Still, they didn't get all that much done. Just because it was so thinly spread and they didn't really have a lot of control. And look at that. Wind Ranger getting killed with her own Illus. Shadow Demon just so freaking powerful. Bane going to get rented, going to get cornered. And now all of a sudden Team Alchemy in a very dominant spot. Tiny going to have a go at the Radiant base, going to destroy one tower.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Tier 3.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Oh
attack.
boy, that's going to be a lot of damage. At least the Chaos Knight Illus were off, but a bunch of tiny Illus coming in to make up for them.
Tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
And that's gonna be one lane of Brax. Team Iplay. They might just end up losing that because of the decision to take one bad fight. Team
Radiant's
Alchemy.
middle barracks have fallen.
They really were a bit delayed on their power curve. They really didn't come online when they wanted to.
Radiant's top
But
tower
now they
is
are
under
online,
attack.
and ironically enough, the Shadow Demon out of all heroes is sitting on top of that work. Void going to get caught. Nightmare save attempt, but he is just taking too much damage. And that's 70 seconds, no Void, no Cronus here. Black Archangel going to go down. In comes the Epicenter, dealing a lot of damage, killing off the Disruptor. Tiny, forced to get himself back, magnetized, hurting a rock and then
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
insane amount, and Chaos Knight is going to be in a bit of an awkward spot. Shadow Demon, nothing he can do. He's just going to go down. Chaos Knight able to get out though. And strangely enough, they should have just sacrificed the Chaos Knight to let Shadow Demon get out net worth wise. I didn't think I'd ever get to say those words. But this Shadow Demon, he is freaking buff as hell.
What have we here?
Opting for the full Shadow Poison carry build. A lot of teams have been experimenting with that, and honestly, it is pretty good. I wanted to go Octarine Core though. The attack animation for Shadow Poison takes about half a second. So the cooldown with an Octarine Core being affected is going to allow you maximum spammability. Then you're literally wasting 0.25 seconds between the Shadow Poisons, and then you can do it like people do when they are right clicking, where you right click, you walk a bit, you right click, you walk a bit. I want to see that in action. Just a rapid fire Shadow Poison Shadow Demon here. Rapid fire Shadow Poison Shadow Demon. I want to see him go full machine gun. I mean, he could get himself an Octarine Core or a Kaya here after those TP boots. Both are really beneficial, both are really ridiculous, but if you're this far ahead, if you're in this spot, you just care about not falling off, about continuing to scale. And that's something both of those items enable really well. I don't know, maybe he has different plans, maybe even a Dagon or something to go with the Blink Dagger and the Ethereal Blade. But it depends on how you want to play this. Do you want to sit in the back and just dish out a ton of damage, or do you want to jump to the front lines? Also, the Demonic Purge damage is going to be big. I'm pretty sure he's gonna take the talent, especially because making Chaos Knight and Tiny Illus is going to be very helpful, and you don't want to bench them for too long. So a level 25 Shadow Demon, just throwing out Lina ultimates, like this is ridiculous. What the hell, Ice Frog? I mean, at this point, the rumors that Valve provides free hallucinogenics for their employees is pretty much confirmed just based off of how broken this feels. Shadow Demon, the least. I mean, we see that a lot with support heroes who become a core. It's not that surprising, really. If you look at Silencer and the likes, it is a pretty big staple of Dota. However, oh, and the smoke gank with a wraparound. Time for me to continue ranting. Sand Kick coming in onto the Chaos Knight. A very good stun target. And follow-up is there. The Chronosphere right after Chaos Knight ultimate. Tiny Illus are in there too, though. And Loafer going to go down. Faces Void going to go down. He doesn't have buyback available this time around. Earth Spirit. That is going to be a very easy target. Black Archangel. Yet another one not hard to kill. And Wind Ranger. Just in a bit of an awkward spot, but that's the issue with Wind Ranger. Although it's one of my favorite heroes, and I think it's one of the strongest heroes in the current meta. Definitely one of the most underestimated. She needs a tank to function. It's kind of like Mirana in that regard, almost. Good game, well played, is being called, and Iplay.
Top tower is under attack.
They gotta be pretty sad about this. They had a loss in the WESG2. They finished second place, so barely didn't make the